What if I told you that a single government agency is quietly reshaping how the U.S. government operates? The Department of Government Efficiency, better known as DOGE, has already slashed budgets, eliminated entire programs, and cut thousands of federal jobs. But is this efficiency or chaos? Let's break down the top 10 actions DOGE has taken so far. In an unprecedented move, the Department of Government Efficiency was created to overhaul how the federal government spends money. Its goal: cut waste, reduce unnecessary programs, and streamline bureaucracy. But while some see this as a much needed reform, others warn it could cut essential services. Here are the top 10 most impactful actions taken by DOGE so far. DOGE has enforced a hiring policy of one new employee for every 4 departures, leading to mass downsizing in several government agencies. While supporters call this efficiency, critics argue it's a recipe for understaffing.
As the president was sworn in, he has taken aim at the federal workforce of 2.4 million and fired, laid off, or offered buyouts to untold thousands. And we say untold because the White House is not telling us exactly how many as the job cuts continue. But Weijia Jiang has been tracking down the jobs being eliminated. And Weijia, what have you found?
Well, we found that there is a group of more than 500,000 workers vulnerable to the administration's sweeping layoffs, and many serving key positions across the federal government. For some who have already lost their jobs, they're now desperately looking for answers why.
Programs that aren't explicitly required by Congress, especially those related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, have been slashed. But is this cutting waste or cutting support for vulnerable communities?
DOGE's newest target: diversity, equity, and inclusion at the Department of Education, identifying 70 DEI training grants amounting to $373 million. According to DOGE, one such grant trained teachers to engage in self-reflection to confront their own biases and racism. This comes as the Department of Education continues its crackdown on DEI programs and policies in schools. On Friday, the acting assistant secretary sent out a letter reminding institutions any discrimination based on race, color, or national origin is illegal, adding institutions failing to comply with federal civil rights law face potential loss of federal funding. Critics quick to respond.
What does this mean?
DOGE has ordered agencies to terminate wasteful contracts and grants, a move that could save billions or disrupt crucial government projects.
So, there's a case where, I think Senator Collins was telling me about how she gave the Navy $12 billion for more submarines, got no extra submarines, and then held a hearing to say where'd the $12 billion go, and they were like, we don't know. That was it. Basically, the stuff is so crazy. It's only the federal government could get away with this level of waste. It's mostly waste. It's mostly not fraud.
From outdated software to inefficient systems, DOGE is pushing for a tech overhaul. But will this digital transformation lead to long-term savings or short-term chaos? Key agencies like the Social Security Administration have been hit with hiring freezes, sparking concerns about service delays for millions of Americans.
A federal judge declined to block Elon Musk and his DOGE agency from accessing government data systems and laying off workers. This decision comes after multiple states filed a lawsuit challenging the agency's authority. Also, DOGE is reportedly seeking access to sensitive taxpayer information from the IRS. Meanwhile, Acting Commissioner for Social Security, Michelle King, is stepping down after refusing to allow access to records.
In an effort to curb spending, overtime pay has been slashed in multiple agencies. But with fewer workers and more demand, could this backfire?
And it's going to lead to great things. A lot of people don't give. I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated.
DOGE has targeted massive cost reductions by shutting down federal data centers, forcing agencies to shift to cloud computing. But is this a smart efficiency move or a cybersecurity risk? The Department of Defense is now being encouraged to purchase used, serviceable equipment rather than new materials. a budget-saving move that could impact military readiness. DOGE is cutting costs by selling off underutilized federal properties, aiming to shrink the government's physical footprint. But could this lead to future logistical headaches?
Specifically around federal office space. So the U.S. government, the GSA, is the largest tenant in the U.S. They lease about 150 million square feet, $5 billion of annual rent. And it's estimated today that about half their leases are cancelable in 6 months because nobody ever expected this to happen. And so when you think about DOGE looking for opportunities to cut cost, combine that with their back to office mandate, you could see a lot of space coming back and actually flowing into the, especially DC office market. And that could have a really challenging effect on the office market that's already struggling today.
To implement these reforms, DOGE has established a specialized task force set to dissolve in 2026. But will these changes stick, or is this just a short-term shakeup? So where's the money going? DOGE claims to be saving billions, but critics argue these cuts hurt essential services while other areas, like military spending, continue to rise. Are we truly reducing waste or just shifting funds elsewhere? The effects of these policies are already being felt. With hiring freezes, workforce reductions, and service cuts, some agencies are struggling to meet demand. With DOGE's efficiency push lead to a leaner, better government, or a broken system?
Now I'm unemployed, I have a ton of debt, and I'm also losing my health insurance.
Did it ever cross your mind that you could be fired in a second?
That part actually never crossed my mind.
Did your supervisor give you a reason for why you were getting fired?
They made it clear that I was not being terminated because of anything that I had done.
DOGE is rapidly transforming how the U.S. government operates. Whether you see this as long overdue reform or reckless cost cutting, one thing is clear. These changes are reshaping the future of federal governance. The big question now, will it last? What do you think? Is DOGE making the government more efficient, or is it going too far? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives in today's biggest political moves.